Will Daredevil be a Vanguard? That's the big question everyone's throwing around in the Marvel Rivals community right now. And let's be real, the game's meta shifts faster than my rank dropping at 3 AM queues. Unless it's about healers. I mean, Luna and Loki have been meta since, what, Season 1? After Angela's release, which, by the way, has been mixed to say the least, because no one seems to know if she's a tank, a duelist, or just something that's set out there to ruin your day. Even if she's on your team, by the way. The community has moved on to a new speculation. And the speculation has only gotten louder this last week. So today we're talking about Daredevil, Vanguard, Duelist, or some cursed hybrid that no one asked for. Let's break it down. Now, first things first, do I actually think that Daredevil could be a tank? Yeah, but do I think it's likely? Not really. I'm calling it like 30-70. 30% he's a Vanguard, and then 70% he's probably a Duelist. Why? Well, there's a couple of reasons. Because of leaks, and let's be honest, Marvel Rival leaks have been terrifyingly accurate since before the game even dropped. The stuff we've seen for Daredevil so far points to movement, evasion, and mobility, which are all very classic Duelist traits. But here's the fun part. Marvel Rivals has already thrown us curveballs. Plenty of tanks in the game have lots of movement. Venom with his swing, Captain America sprinting around the map like a madman, and hell, Angela is a flying tank. A flying tank. I never thought I'd say those words in a hero shooter. So yeah, Daredevil's not off the table. So what has people convinced that Daredevil's about to be the newest tank edition in your lobbies? Well, number one, his size. The Marvel Rivals Daredevil model is not your skinny Netflix lean machine. This man's bulked. Broad shoulders, wider stance, and honestly, I love it. See, Daredevil in the comics leans heavily into boxing. His whole fighting style is basically Catholic guilt, uppercuts, and as someone who actually boxes, I appreciate the wider, more powerful stance. It fits him, and bigger body types usually scream Vanguard in Marvel Rivals. Number two, the trailer. Everyone saw it. Daredevil pulls out more than just his standard street-level tricks. We see a dragon god-looking powers, and we also see him blind Angela with some kind of black smoke ability. That's not Duelist. That screams more about crowd control, which would lean towards him being a Vanguard. And in Rivals, CC Ultimates equal Vanguard or support. Think about Emma Frostalt. She locks down entire teams, and your DPS just goes to town. Doctor Strange, Groot, same deal. Big CCs that let your Duelist style on people. That smoke blind ability fits exactly with that category. And if it ends up working how it looks it does, it's textbook Vanguard material. I think one of the strongest pieces of evidence is the leaks, but also what the Rival devs have told us themselves. You see, Rival devs have already planned out basically all the heroes we'd be getting this year, and shocker, most of them are DPS. The pipeline they've been cooking up was already into effect when they were set on producing more Duelists. It wasn't until Season 2 that people actually started a widespread discussion about how we needed more supports and tanks in order to keep the game in a good balance. Every ability leak that we've seen for Daredevil has emphasized mobility, dashes, quick strikes, evasive flips, stuff that makes him sound way more like a Genji-style annoyance than a frontline tank. Marvel Rivals already has a pattern. Tanks tend to be more bruisery, with sustain or shields. Venom can heal himself. Cap has a literal shield. And Angela, again, somehow flies. Do we really think that Daredevil is going to be a tank level of sustain? I don't. It just doesn't fit his lore. He's a scrappy, kind of agile, but not standing there eating entire rocket barrages like it's Taco Bell at 2 AM. So yeah, leaks plus lore both lean to Duelist. He plays more like a predator that dives squishies, not someone holding the line. Now here's a cursed thought. What if Daredevil ends up being a hybrid? We already have these weird cross-archetype characters. Think Mr. Fantastic being a mix of DPS and tank, and look at characters like Ultron or Adam Warlock. They're basically DPS characters who choose to heal you. So imagine Daredevil as a Vanguard with Duelist speed as he dives into the backline, blinds your healers, and then somehow also tanks a Magneto ult. It'd be chaos, it'd be unbalanced, and it'd be very, very Marvel Rivals. I mean, if Angela can fly and still be a tank, Daredevil could 100% be given some mix and match kit where he plays like a Duelist, has CC utility tagged as a Vanguard. Would it make sense? Absolutely not. But when has this game ever made sense? Here's my personal take. I have a feeling that Daredevil will be a Duelist. Why? Because his fantasy is all about speed and precision. He should feel like he's darting in and out, relying on awareness and reflexes, not just face-tanking bullets. However, in Marvel Rivals, this is a multiverse game, and I love what the devs have cooked up so far. we could get a totally different version of Daredevil that makes complete sense. And I know people get upset with heavily Asianifying of certain characters like Iron Fist being changed over to Lin Lai, or Asian-inspired skins being in the shop every other week. But NetEase is an Asian company, and I don't think we have anything to worry about on the visual side of things. I say let them cook. For the good of the game, we need more tanks, and we need more healers. And if this season they want to add 2 tanks into the game, I've got no problem with that. Hell, next season, they want to bring 2 supports, I welcome it. That said, I hope Daredevil is a Vanguard. Injecting more popular, cool Vanguard characters and strategist characters into the roster would be a huge benefit for people willing to fill out those roles. Could you imagine if Deadpool was a Vanguard? There would be fights in the Asgardian streets about who gets to play him. And a bulkier Daredevil with a boxing stance and CC powers sounds amazing. Honestly, this is the most excited I've been for a Marvel Rivals character in a while. What I don't want is another Angela situation. A character that looks cool but no one knows what to do with, and she ends up being benched in comp and needs some extra help right now out of the gate. I could be wrong. Maybe people will find out that Angela is actually the best tank in the game, but currently she just doesn't really have a place, and her team needs to be very specific for her to be able to work. So, will Daredevil be a Vanguard? My bet, no. He's probably going to be a duelist. But it's that 30% chance that he ends up as a tank that has a community in a frenzy. And honestly, I love it. Let me know in the comments, would you rather see Daredevil dashing around like a sweaty Genji, or holding the line as the most Catholic tank of all time? Either way, he's coming. And he's coming soon. And I can't wait to see rank lobbies devolve into absolute chaos the day he drops. Thanks so much for watching. Drop a like if you enjoyed, comment if you have something to say, and have a wonderful day.